Good afternoon, everybody. I am Dr. Delores Thompson, Yo Girl Delores, if you know me from around the way, and I'm from Oakland School for the Arts. I am the pathway coordinator, but also I am a 25-year radio broadcast veteran, television, and some film. I'm currently on air at 102.9 KBLX in San Francisco, and I'm entering into my seventh season of Unsung, which is a television show on TV1. So I still like to dibble and dabble in the industry just so I can be able to have that door open for the kids. Um, as pathway coordinator, my job, and I made an assessment at Oakland School for the Arts, we are a complete performing arts school with dance, production design, literary arts, theater, digital media, visual arts, broadcast, of course, audio production, instrumental, and if anything that you can imagine, visual arts, we got it. So my job is to, yes, KBLX, okay. My job is to help them reimagine how we can not only enhance what they've already created, that foundation, but bring it into industry relevance, as well as make it culturally relevant. Lots of times, studying Bach and Beethoven and, all the classics is great. But I think that we have to reflect the times, and in order to keep kids engaged, we need to bring everything we're doing up to date. So I kind of look at things from the perspective of how I was a student in school. I was probably the class cut up, the class cutter. I was unengaged. And frankly, I wasn't involved because I just didn't care until I got introduced to the arts. The arts made all the difference in the world to me. It made me re-engage. It made me wanted to get the dessert. I like to explain it like that. In order to get to the dessert, you have to eat the vegetables. So it re-engaged me to what was happening in school. So a part of what my job is bringing in new programming. And some of those new programs are going to be updated to where they are industry relevant. One of the programs we're initiating this year is hip hop. Why hip hop? Well, I started right out of high school at a 24-hour music video station in Oakland called Soul Beat Television. Now, Soul Beat, all Black owned, like I said, 24-hour video station. And we were the only station at the time when I was programming playing hip hop videos. MTV wouldn't even play Black videos at the time. This is the 80s, and BET wouldn't touch it. So for me, rap became an integral part of who I was. Not only that, I can rap and can, get into the B-boy, B-girl stance if you want to see that. I can get down like that too. One of the things that I learned from Soul Beat is through the rap, it is not only engaging, but educational. And I always tell my kids, for me, there was a plethora of rappers. You had the party rapper, you had the political rapper, you had the educational rapper, you had the romance rapper, you had the clown rapper, you had, a plethora of people to choose from, but they all had something to give, right? So what I want to do is to be able to open doors at OSA for the students to come in and utilize those natural raw talents. Because in order to be a part of this society, which is a hip hop society, it's not necessarily about becoming traditionally trained, but it's about taking that natural desire from the inside and being able to write or being able to produce. So I'm going to be doing that this year with the students, and I'm sure they're going to be excited. They don't know it yet, but when they come back on campus, we're going to have these access classes. One of the other things that I'm doing is I'm rolling out 3 particular programs. One is a work-based learning program where we're going to be opening up 3 different on-campus student-run businesses. The first business that I started on campus for the students was broadcast, right? Because I'm a broadcaster. So we started an online radio station, which you could see right there, kosaradio.org, where minds, words, music, and rhymes meet. That was the first business that I started with the kids on campus. It's now totally student run. And what I learned from starting that radio station and training and allowing the students to run it is that they become extremely critical thinkers. They become their leadership skills are strengthened. There are so many different things and aspects that happen when you allow a student to become in charge of something or something that they totally have interest in. You're now going to open it up to where it becomes an assignment to them. That I said, okay, since we are a performing arts school and our kids are already producing songs and they come to us, KOSA Radio, to play their songs. So next year we're going to roll out a record label. Okay, so I have 4 different companies we're going to roll out. We're going to roll out a television and film production company, which is so cool that we have a production company on campus, a digital media company class on campus. I mean, everything is fitting like hand to glove with what the vision that I have and re-engaging and reimagining how education is going to be taught on our schools. We're also going to start a digital and print publication, which we have a literary arts department, and they're going to work with our English department. And we're also going to start a fashion line. We have a fashion department. And so all of these companies, what I've been doing all summer is gathering up mentors for each department at our school. As a matter of fact, when I was on watching Jamel, somebody called me from KTVU, one of the producers. They want to bring their whole production design company. I was like, let's do it. I'm excited because 2 things, like I said, in order to take what we're doing to the next level and to make it relevant to where our kids can either go into college or career, we need to up our curriculum. So, and we need to have that curriculum include these project-based, work-based learning pieces. So that's something that I'm extremely looking forward to doing this year and over the next 3 years, which is a part of my 3-year plan, rolling out these different businesses. Also, we're going to do a lot of career and college readiness. So I've been pinpointing certain colleges that have great arts departments to partner with us. I've been doing that all summer. So I'm looking at this from too many different angles to where everything is starting to come together perfectly, but one thing was missing. What I did do was I approached the Oakland Unified School District this summer and I asked them, is there any way we can invite kids from other public schools to join our arts classes? Why? Because that's the missing piece. They've taken arts out of the schools. So if we're going to have access to all this, I want all kids to have access to what we're doing. And at first, they kind of scratched their head and they went, what? Join a charter school? They went back and they met, they came back and they said, it's doable. So I'm excited to add that extra piece in, meaning we're going to be able to get so many kids from each campus, from high schools throughout Oakland, to come and participate. Not only are they going to be able to participate, but they're going to be able to get college credits as well. So we're doing a lot of work here that is going to expand on the student experience, the student engagement, as well as giving them an opportunity, because I was one of the, Dr. Delores came way down the road in my career. So I went straight into entertainment when I left school. So we want to give them the tools that they need to be able to make a decision on what they want to do and where they want to go. If I can share the screen, I'll show you something that I did this past year, which was an artist speaker series. So when we start talking about relevant career exploration, what I thought about was, how can I get kids in front of people who will tell a real story, and not only tell that story, but be willing to answer questions, and then how about turning around and giving them internships? So I was able to put together this artist speaker series, which started in October with Arabian Prince, who's of course one of the founding members of NWA, and also Trevor Hansford, who is a Hollywood director of cinematography. I actually met him on the set of Unsung, and his sizzle reel is crazy. He's done every show that you could think of. I brought in Lamar Baylor. Let me just show their picture. So this was our fashion speaker series, which I had Kiki Kitty, who actually is a ghost designer. They call her the celebrity ghost designer. She designed Jay-Z's line as well as Beyonce's line. I brought in one of our former students, and I hope you guys can see this because I can't really see while I'm doing this. I brought in one of our former students, Maddow Future, who actually created a line based on the Black Panthers. And I wear his t-shirts everywhere, and they have the Black Panther image in certain years, and people stop me. I told them I could have sold out one time when I went to LA because everybody wanted one of those t-shirts. So we're super proud of him. And that's one of the interesting parts about bringing this speaker series to life. I'm able to get alumni and bring them and let them be a part of the series. This young lady, Sherlina Allen, is one of the premier celebrity hairstylists. Sherlina is a type of person, she's out of Los Angeles, and Beyonce, Sierra, well, it's too many names for me to try to rattle off, but she is the celebrity hairstylist. And these people want to engage with our students. Sherlina is already asked to do a mentorship with our students. So there's so many people. For our visual arts department, Fab Five Freddy participated. And we all know his history. Dana King, who is not only a 30-year television news anchor, she flipped the script and became a master sculptor. So she's doing sculptings all across the country now that are focusing on African Americans. In fact, she's in a commercial right now, so you might recognize her face. She's in a national commercial, but she's doing amazing work. One of my favorite groups, Tower of Power, we brought in legendary founder Emilio Castillo, who was fascinated by our school and our instrumental department. So he's willing to do work with us. And because he's right here in Oakland, made that happen. Marlon West, who's the head of animation for Disney, very, very, very accessible. He's in Los Angeles. He's willing to work with our students on Zoom as far as mentoring. And this is how I'm making these connections, by coming to these people that I know and saying, hey, would you mind investing in our students? Tammy Mack, three-time NAACP Image Award winner, television host, the Tammy Mack Show on Fox Soul, as well as 102.3 KJLH Los Angeles radio personality, which is where I spent 15 years, a station owned by Stevie Wonder, willing to invest in our students. And also, this is the head of Fox Soul programming, James Du Bois. This brother stepped in and gave a speech to our students that 2 teachers were on Zoom crying because he actually told his story. And I carefully selected people that I knew were going to be transparent. And he started off by saying, I know everybody wants me to talk about television and film, but I want to talk about the business of being you. And you taking yourself somewhere where your integrity can keep you there. Fantastic speakers. So that's the Artist Speaker Series. Lamar Baylor, principal dancer for The Lion King, and another OSA alumni, Dominique Baptiste, who has been a choreographer for P. Diddy, Cardi B, Janet Jackson, everybody willing to come back and give. So this has been an excellent way to engage people, to further connect them into what I'm doing with the mentoring, the master classes, and the internships. I always tell people there is a method to my madness. So putting together this speaker series was a way for me to get to engage with the kids, because everything we do is student run. So each speaker series had a student panel moderating. And I'm telling you, they fell in love with the kids, and they are now ready to go and be a part of all of our programs. And I'm looking forward to it. Last year, we did a pilot with Mimi Shakarova, who is a CNN photojournalist. She just so happens to have a film production company here in Berkeley. She took on 4 of our kids as interns, and she let them produce a mini documentary at the end of their term. She signed up for another term coming up this year. So I'm looking to do more of that with our students to make sure that they get that real world experience, because lots of times you can go to school and you can learn all the textbook, but to be the mechanical, to be able to touch the tangible is basically what gets you locked in and keeps you locked in. I know that's what it did for me. And that's how I kind of approach how we reimagine educating them from how I took my journey. And it seemed to have worked so far. So I'm super excited about bringing hip hop into OSA, because again, not only is that going to allow us to open the door for more diversity, but it's also going to allow the kids to take what's naturally inside and bring that out, put pen to paper and let's go. Let's put some beats together. And I'm super excited about that aspect. Somebody said, this is a world-class speaker series for real, right? Yeah. Delores gets hundreds of kids to show up. Yes. We've never had less than 400 kids on our Zoom. So it's always been completely packed. And like I said, totally engaged to where I had to shut off the Q&A because they had questions. I mean, lots of questions to where I think even the speakers were shocked at the caliber of questions. Again, when you give kids an opportunity, they'll take it, but they have to have that opportunity. It has to be presented to them, sometimes in an unconventional way. So what I'm trying to do on this campus is create unconventional ways. And I think I proved that with KOSA Radio. Not only did our kids, my first program director, write a 90-page presentation to onboard each person who applied for a job, but he also came up with 5 different creative, very creative and diverse special programming that he produced himself. And now he's running his own theater company. He graduated, he's running his own theater company. So, you know, the skills that we give them, if we only reimagine how we educate them, will take them far. And like I tell my kids, you may not want to go into any of the arts, but you will have a skill set and a mindset of determination and knowing that you've got the confidence because of what you learned through the arts that you can go out and conquer anything. And that's pretty much been my journey. Once I got involved in the arts, that's when I realized I could do anything and I could take that skill anywhere. So I'm super excited about what we're doing at OSA. I'm really excited about being a part of this hip hop coalition with Martha Diaz and also Allison Foncel and the AME, just opening up new doors and helping us to reimagine what education can look like is extremely important to me. And that's the path that we're all on. So that's pretty much my presentation. If anyone has any questions, I can answer them. Do you do them online? We did all the speaker series online. This year, we are doing it in person because we're going to be back on campus. So our executive director went to the Fox Theater because OSA is based downtown. It's right in back of the Fox Theater. So she went to the Fox Theater, negotiated with them. They are gifting us 7 dates at the Fox. So now I'm pulling from local people, which, like I said, the people from Channel 2 called, because what I'm trying to do now with the speaker series, this theme is going to be business of the arts. So because we're rolling out the different businesses, I want to bring in people that actually make these businesses happen. So I'm bringing in, I've already gotten on board executive producer of the movie Ray and too many TV shows to name. Marcus King will be one of our speakers. I also just signed up one of the producers who worked with Tupac here in Oakland. Also Tony Spires, who was the creator of the Black Comedy Competition, as well as Inspired Artist Management. Tony is somebody that hired me when I first came to LA. And that's how well, you guys don't know, but that's how I got to work with Def Comedy Jam. So because I worked with his company, Def Comedy Jam hired me out to put together showcases to find the hosts of Def Comedy Jam, which we settled on Martin Lawrence, but I auditioned everybody from D.L. Hughley to Joe Torre, but Tony Spires is coming back to work with us. Lionel B from Bay Area Productions, who has a huge promotion company, is coming on board. So I've already got people lined up that are going to come in and work with our kids in person. And we're excited to go on from there. So yeah, thank you. I think my email is in, my email is in the chat. So if anyone wants to connect and talk further or get more information, just hit me up. I'm ready to go.